Okay, so today I want to talk about your trading timeline and what you want to happen with your trading journey. The truth about it is, becoming a profitable trader isn't going to happen on your terms or on your timeline. This is because you can't predict what's going to happen. Why can't you predict it? Because trading literally follows the path of your life, and you cannot predict your life. Not everything in it anyway. You can make some plans and you can have some goals and you can push to go in the right direction for those goals, but you absolutely cannot predict what timeline, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, etc. It's absolutely hinged on your ability to manage your emotional state. If you have difficulty with emotions in any aspect of your life, if you have a hard time calming yourself or thinking rationally in difficult situations, regardless of what they are, that could reflect in what you're doing in your trading. Having a timeline adds unnecessary and not really fruitful pressure. So you just have to internalize that and stop worrying about what it is you really wish it would look like. So don't get me wrong, you can actually have a goal and a time frame for very specific aspects of your trading journey, but not for the whole thing. So let me give you an example. You couldn't say, I'm going to end up with 500K by the end of this year. If you said that to yourself, you would ultimately put yourself in a position to be completely thrown off balance by the pressure of that added goal. You can say something like, I would like to learn all of the definitions in trading by this time. That's totally reasonable. You can actually accomplish that. But the thing is, if you set a goal like 500,000 or 50,000 or whatever amount it is for your year, you're likely to kind of drop the ball once you get a little closer to it. If you see it in your rearview mirror, and you're like, oh, it's closer than it appears, and you start to freak out and you're going to get all excited and hopeful, pat yourself on the back a little preemptively, and then that may cause you to get a little cocky and you might lose a lot more money than you would have otherwise. So I think that putting those sorts of goals or plans in your trading journey, they're just adding undue stress, and it's really not beneficial to you at all to put those things into your path. I have very specific experience with this. When I started my trading journey, I was a little over 30 and I had just gotten out of a relationship that had taken 13 years of my life, and I was not where I had hoped to be at that point in time. It was all very difficult for me to swallow the idea that this new trading path was going to take me a few years. I was looking at my life and I had my husband, who I was so grateful for because he was the love of my life and we had finally found each other. And then I started to realize we had lost all this time to other situations that we had been in life, and we were getting started late. Right around the corner were our 40s, and I wanted freedom so that we could travel, we could see the world. I haven't really been out of America. For our honeymoon, we actually went to Alaska on a cruise, and that's really the first country is Canada that I've been to because we stopped in Victoria. So I felt this intense pressure to get successful. Profitable is what I called success at that time, and I wanted the freedom. I wanted it badly. I wanted us to get out of the grind and allow him to stop working so many hours. He was working like 60 hours a week plus. I just so badly wanted to spend all my time doing the things that we wanted to do instead of working. And so it was all of this emotional pressure I was putting on myself, and he was putting on himself. He was trading then too. We were really, really focused on the timeline. Honestly, I think that I actually caused the blow up of my first 2 accounts with that pressure added to me. I had like a couple months with him where we were really profitable in our paper trading accounts. We had thousands coming in and it felt so good. We're like, we made it. We did what we set out to do, and then put our money in the real accounts, and then he lost too much to stomach and I blew up my first account after quite a while. It was like 6 months, but either way, it was a very devastating loss because both of us had seen profitability and we really, really wanted it. We wanted that freedom so badly and we were focusing so heavily on it. All that pressure that I put on myself, it caused me to panic. I wasn't thinking in my best state in my trades. I was executing poorly and I was fearing losing money. I probably ended up with more losses than were necessary because I had ended up cutting too soon because I was afraid to lose, or I didn't hold long enough for the win to work because I was like, but if I don't take it now, what, I might not end up with any money. Had I not sized up too soon to try to rake in those profits faster, to try to accelerate the timeline, I think I wouldn't have blown up those accounts. And I think that's really important to get into your mind, that you can put yourself into a spot that causes your downfall. I've actually seen it happen with lots of gurus too. Ross Cameron, I remember I was in his chat room while he was about to hit 1 million, I believe. And right before he hit the 1 million, he had a huge drawdown day. And the reason he had that is because he got in his head. He was too focused on that goal that he ended up making a lot of boneheaded mistakes and causing himself to lose quite a bit of money. And that actually helped it dawn on me that I was doing the exact same thing. I don't think that anybody is ever going to be fully removed from that possibility happening to them. I think the danger is that we get too comfortable and too sure of ourselves, and we end up putting ourselves back there. So guess what? Now it is 4 years later, and I am not where I envisioned myself to be on my trading journey. I had hoped that 2 years ago I would have been profitable, or 3 years ago I would have been profitable, and this would be my career, and I'd be moving in the direction of being fully in charge of all of our income and able to bring home my husband from working so much. But that's not what happened, and it's okay though. The brilliant thing about this is that I don't mind the journey anymore. I don't mind that it has taken this long. I don't feel any urgency in it. I feel like it's okay, however long it takes, whatever it takes, I can do this. I have genuine patience and a perspective that actually works, and the ability to accept what life is throwing at me here. I've taken breaks when I've hit burnouts. I've managed to learn some valuable lessons along the way, and very important things about who I am inside. That has applied to everything in my life. It doesn't just stop at trading. It moves past all that into your relationships, into your time management, into your motivations, and your progress in lots of other areas of your life. I haven't stopped working. I haven't slacked off. I believe it's crucial for us to recognize that we don't have 100% control of what's going to happen or how it's going to happen. And we can't sit and try to wrestle it into a form that fits our ideals with our imagination and with force. That's not going to get us anywhere. The reality is, if we push ourselves too hard like that, we might start labeling ourselves as frauds, failures, losers, is what my husband usually says. And it kills me every time to hear that, because I know he is not a loser and he is not a failure. It just takes time, and it's hard to grasp that internally when you want something so badly. We need to be gentle with ourselves, and we need to do this so that we can keep going without having huge breakdowns and even causing the people around us who are encouraging us, who are lifting us up, and who are our biggest fans to kind of wonder about our sanity and if this is detrimental to us. This is a process above all else. It is a person growing process, and that's what's so cool about it, is that it is absolutely beneficial to us as individuals, to our own identities, to our abilities, to our progress in life, to our progression as human beings. If we can harness it that way, we have a lot more benefit along the way. Do yourself a favor, drop the timeline. I mean, the overall encompassing, I'm going to become successful by 20 whatever. Let's stop saying that this is our year, or this is going to be the month that I go green. Let's stop telling ourselves these things so that when we fail, we don't hurt ourselves so much that we can't return. The important thing is to be gentle with yourself so that you can keep grinding. You can keep moving forward and have a better mental clarity versus PTSD from what we've been through with trading. It can go either way, and it's not to say that we're going to have perfect, upbeat, non-negative days for the rest of time with our journey. I'm just saying it is possible for us to have more positivity from it than negativity, and more progress than setback. Let's just believe this instead. In time, you will achieve what you've set out to do, and so much more.